So how many people were expecting us to have a Purim service tonight? Tonight? Nah. She's like, you're expecting to light candles tonight, so you couldn't expect a Purim service. The Purim service is not till next Friday. Purim falls in the middle of the week this week. It's the 14th of the month of Adar. There's going to be a supermoon again, and it's a full moon. Jewish holidays tend to fall on full moons. We are not celebrating Purim with an official service here on Wednesday night or Thursday morning. Agudath Achim is having a covered dinner and a Purim spiel and all of that stuff. If you want to go do it then. We are doing it Sunday from 10:30 to 1 o'clock with lunch at 11:30. We're doing it next Friday. Next Friday, I'll talk to you afterwards and see what you want to do, because we can show the kids Purim spiel, which is pretty awesome. Actually, I would call it marvelous, because it's the Marvel Universe one. Although I'm thinking about having a grown-up one too. But you got to tell me, anybody coming in costume next Friday? Otherwise, you're no fun. You're like poopy heads. So I'll bring costumes. The costumes will be outside. You could wear it. Even that one year that I said everybody come wearing your favorite team's colors or the opposite of your favorite team colors, even that didn't work very well. Most weeks I can't stop you from wearing your favorite team colors, except when I tell you to. No, just kidding. I'm just kidding. I will come in costume on Friday night, so just saying. I will wear a costume on Sunday, and then again on Friday night. But that's not till next week. We have a lot of things happening this week, and next week we'll talk about that more. But before we start tonight, this Shabbat has a special name to it. Every once in a while, Shabbat has a special name. And it has to do usually with something that we read during the Torah service, which I'm not going to do tonight. I'm not going to read the Torah service, but I'm going to tell you about the special Shabbat. It's called Shabbat Zachor. You know what Zachor means? It means remember. So it's the Shabbat, we're supposed to remember something. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about remembering later, but before we start the service, I wanted to talk about remembering, because some of what I want you to remember are things that are going to happen during the service. So I'm going to tell you a teeny story. At one point this past year, we showed a movie, and a few people came to watch it. It was in Japanese, and it was about death. You remember? Tammy was here. I really like that movie. It's a really strange little movie. It's not that I think that it's the way life is, but it is, here's what happens. You die, and you go into this little place. It looks like it's in the woods. It reminds me of summer camp a little bit. And there are these folks who are like in their 20s, and they greet you, and they tell you that out of your whole life, you have to try to remember one thing, one memory. One woman remembers a recital, a dance recital she did when she was a little girl. One guy remembers being in an airplane and seeing the clouds from up there. You think about what is your favorite memory out of your whole life, and they take that memory and they record it again for you, and then you get to take that one memory, that video of that one memory for the rest of eternity, and that's all you get, is one memory for the rest of eternity. So it's not that I think that that's what life is like after death, which is an oxymoron, life after death, but anyway, you see what I'm saying. It's not that that's what I think happens, but there's something poignant about trying to figure out what is your most memorable moment in your life. And I'm here to tell you that it may be something that's still ahead of you, which is part of what I love about that concept, is the concept that think about having a moment in your life that is memorable. See if you can make one that is memorable for good reasons. Try to make a beautiful memory. And so I'm going to give you that at the beginning of the service. Plus, obviously, every time I have a service here with you, I hope that there's going to be something in the service that you find memorable and that you want to take with you into the coming week. And I'm hoping that by sitting here on Shabbat and you reflect on what happened this past week, you will think of a moment that's so precious that you want to remember it and bring it with you. And what if it were a memory of something that you have a responsibility to share with the next generation, the generation after that? What if you have a memory that you think is so important that you have to share it so that it never gets forgotten? So those are some of the things that I want you to think about, because this is called Shabbat Zachor, the Sabbath of memory, not for any of the reasons I've already told you. But those are the reasons I want to give you before the service begins, because I think that those are good inspirations for going into a Shabbat service. As you know, we have that beautiful reading that talks about people are here for different reasons. And some people are here because they're happy. They're glad to come to the end of a week and share it with each other. Some people are sad because they've lost someone that they loved. Someone is here because they feel that it's a good place to pray because someone they know is sick and trying to recuperate. So there are lots of reasons to come, and some of them may be things that are memorable reasons for you that you're focusing on. And I want to share that with you before we begin our service. Before we bless the candles, and you notice how we're in a whole different twilight zone now, because last week it was dark already, and this week it's not dark anymore. But we're still getting ready for Shabbat as the clock ticks. So before we start blessing, I need you to help me take a deep breath. And let it out slowly. And try again. Let it out slowly. Appreciate the peace and relaxation that comes with Shabbat. And we are going to, this week, do service 3. I like what it says for us for this week, things about memories and things we're looking for in life. And so service 3 is going to begin on page 82. I'm going to invite you to please rise, and I'm going to call Tammy and Ricky up, please, and his entourage, anyone who's coming in his entourage, to come and help us. Look at her, 2 feet. I see both your feet. 2 actual feet.
That's memorable.
I know, that is memorable. I remembered. Page 82. And
these lights are only flickering flames, yet flames illumine our uncertain steps. Flames remind us of Sabbaths long past and of their beauty that delighted our hearts. May they inspire us to work for the great Sabbath of peace. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvato v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen.
We praise you, eternal God, sovereign of the universe. You hallow us with your mitzvah and command us to kindle the Sabbath lights.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. We now turn to page 165. Do you remember how to chant this in Hebrew? Ricky does, and his kids too. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pari hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho b'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reshit ki hu yom techila l'mikra'e kodesh zecher litziat mitzrayim kivanu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. Amen l'chaim. So I remember hearing Ricky chant that before he was married at all and had any children. And now this is even more memorable.
Now I have a chorus.
And now you have a chorus. It's very cool of you to have a whole chorus. You are welcome to be seated if you say Shabbat Shalom to someone you came in with. Shabbat Shalom you didn't come in with. Say Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.
Turn that off.
Shabbat Shalom. Yeah, good idea. That could be bad if we leave all these on. Yes, thank you. Shabbat Shalom. And we turn back. I guess I was supposed to, I forgot to remind you that Adam is not coming. He sent me a message in the middle of the week and he said, remember that I won't be here this Friday. And I said, I already forgot. So we're going to continue on page 84. We're going to continue with the song that we sing that reminds us that angels accompany us on Shabbat. There's a story, a sweet story, except when I heard it, it was a sweet story. Someone once upon a time told the same exact story, and it wasn't as sweet, but I like thinking of it as sweet. That on Shabbat, there are angels that come, and when they see us celebrating Shabbat, they peek in the windows, and they see us celebrating Shabbat, and then they wish us the same kind of Shabbat for the next week. And that's what I think of. And we are welcoming those angels now. We hope that they bless us. We hope that we welcome them. We hope that they bring us peace. Shalom Aleichem, Malachi Hasharet, Malachi Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachi Hamlachim, Hakadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem l'shalom, Malachi Hashalom, Malachi Elyon. Mi melech malachi hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Barachuni l'shalom, Malachi Hashalom, Malachi Elyon. Mi melech malachi hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedchem l'shalom, Malachi Hashalom, Malachi Elyon. Mi melech malachi hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. The synagogue is the sanctuary of Israel. Born of our longing for the living God, it has been to Israel throughout our wanderings a visible token of the presence of God in our people's midst. Its beauty is the beauty of holiness. Steadfast it has stood as the champion of justice, mercy, and peace. Its truths are true for all people. Its love is a love for all people. Its God is the God of all people. As it has been said, my house shall be called a house of prayer for all peoples. Let the family of Israel, all who hunger for righteousness, all who seek the eternal, find God here, and here find life. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbi, be'alma divrach chiruteh, v'yamlich malchuteh, b'chayechon uvyomechon, uv'chaye d'chol beit Yisrael, ba'agala, uvizman kariv, v'miru, Amen. Yeheshme Rabba mevarach la'alam ul'alme almaya yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpahar v'yitromam v'yinaseh v'yitadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shmeh dekudesha b'richu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata תושבחתה ונחמתה דמירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן. ברכו את אדוני המבורך. ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד. Oh God, how can we know you? Where can we find you? You are as close to us as breathing, yet you are farther than the farthermost star. You are as mysterious as the vast solitudes of night, yet as familiar to us as the light of the sun. To Moses you said, "You cannot see my face, but I will make all my goodness pass before you." Even so does your goodness pass before us in the realm of nature and in the joys and sorrows of life. When justice burns within us like a flaming fire, when love evokes willing sacrifice from us, when to the last full measure of selfless devotion we demonstrate our belief in the ultimate triumph of truth and righteousness, then your goodness enters our lives and we can begin to change the world. And then you live within our hearts and we, through righteousness, behold your presence. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem, Kevod Malechuto, Le'olam Va'ed. You may be seated, and I need anybody who can help me with this Ve'ahavta thing, please come up and help me. Anybody who wants to, anybody who can should want to, but only a few people come up. I don't understand why that happens. Yay.
ואהבת
את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, Adonai Elohechem Emet. Would you lead us in English too, please?
You shall love your eternal God with all your heart, with all your mind,
with all your being. Set these words which I command you this day upon your heart. Teach them faithfully to your children. Speak of them in your home and on your way, when you lie down and when you rise up. Bind them as a sign upon your hand. Let them be symbols before your eyes. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. Be mindful of all my mitzvot and do them. So shall you consecrate yourselves to your God. I am your eternal God, who led you out of Egypt to be your God. I am your eternal God. I, the Eternal One, have called you to righteousness and taken you by the hand and kept you. I have made you a covenant people, a light to the nations. We are Israel, witness to the covenant between God and God's children. This is the covenant I make with Israel. I will place my Torah in your midst and write it upon your hearts. I will be your God, and you shall be my people. We are Israel. Forbids worship of race or nation, possessions or power. You who worship gods that cannot save you, hear the words of the Eternal One. I am God, there is none else. We are Israel. Our prophets proclaimed an exalted vision for the world. Hate evil, love what is good. Let justice well up as waters and righteousness as a mighty stream. We are Israel, schooled in the suffering of the oppressed. You shall not oppress your neighbors nor rob them. You shall not stand idle while your neighbor bleeds. We are Israel, taught to beat swords into plowshares, commanded to pursue peace. Violence shall no longer be heard in your land, desolation and destruction within your borders. All your children will be taught of your God, and great shall be the peace of your children. We are Israel, O God, when we are witnesses to your love and messengers of your truth. You are my witnesses, says the Eternal One, and my servant whom I have chosen. Know me, therefore, and put your trust in me. We are Israel, O God, when we proclaim you, God our Redeemer, as did our ancestors on the shores of the Red Sea. Let's see if I can do the one that Adam does. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nehedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot osef ele, nora tehilot osef ele. La la again. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. It's almost the same chords as other songs, and I'm like, I'll never remember the melody. I remembered the melody. V'ne'emar, and it has been said, the Eternal One delivered Jacob and redeemed us from the hand of one stronger than ourselves. Baruch atah Adonai Ga'al Yisrael. We praise you, O God, Redeemer of Israel. May we lie down this night in peace and rise up to life renewed. O God, spread over us your shelter of peace, of quiet and calm, and bless us with rest. And let a time come when morning will bring no word of war or famine or anguish, a time of happiness, of contentment and rest. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom, aleinu v'al kol amo Yisrael v'al Yerushalayim. We give thanks for the night and its rest and the promise of peace for all the world. And I think because of some of what happened in Israel this week, I'm going to translate what we said in Hebrew. Praised are you, Adonai, who spread out a sukkah, a tabernacle of peace, upon us, upon all of Israel, and upon Jerusalem. Did you hear what happened in Israel this week? Rockets. Rockets flying down. A lot of rockets. The people of Israel shall keep the Sabbath. Vishameru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam berit olam. Beini uvein bnei Yisrael oti le'olam, oti le'olam, oti le'olam. Vishameru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam berit olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et ha-shamayim ve'et ha'aretz. Vishameru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam berit olam. Uvayom hashvi shavat vayinafash, shavat vayinafash, shavat vayinafash. Vishameru v'nei Yisrael et ha Shabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. Please rise for the tefillah, which begins on page 93. Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Eternal God, open my lips that my mouth may declare your glory. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Leah, v'Elohei Rachel, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibur v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Hasadim Tovim, v'Koneh HaKol, v'Zocher Hasdei Avot v'Imahot, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. The middle of page 94. God of all generations, of Abraham and Isaac and Jacob, of Sarah, Rebekah, Leah, and Rachel, be praised. Your wondrous creative power fills heaven and earth. God of life and death, be praised. Through us, send help to the falling, healing to the sick, freedom to the captive. Confirm your faithfulness to those who sleep in the dust. Awesome and holy God, be praised. With acts of love and truth, we hallow your name. As it is said, be holy, for I, your eternal God, am holy. God of times and seasons, be praised. Enable us through Sabbath rest to explore and learn and impart the meanings of your Torah. Make our hearts ready to serve you this day and all days. God who answers prayer, be praised. May we, your people Israel, be worthy in our deeds and our prayer. Wherever we live, wherever we seek you, in this land, in Zion restored, in all lands, you are our God. Source of life and its wonders, be praised. You are the miracle within all we behold. You are goodness. You are compassion. We give thanks to you forever. Please join me in the English under the Hebrew. God of peace, of justice, and of love, be praised. Inspire us to banish forever hatred, war, and bloodshed. Help us to establish forever one human family united in peace. God of peace, bless us with peace. We take a moment for silent prayer. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו, Ya'aseh shalom, Ya'aseh shalom, Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, Ya'aseh shalom, Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, Ya'aseh shalom, Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, Ya'aseh shalom, Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, Ya'aseh shalom, Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. V'imru, imru, amen. This time in our service, our hearts and our prayers turn to those who are ill or recuperating as we turn to the inside back cover of the prayer book. And I turn off my microphone for a moment to be able to call out the names of those for whom we're praying. If you have names that you would like us to include in our prayers, I invite you to please call them out. Yogi. For all these names, for the names we choose to hold in our hearts and not say out loud, we pray together. God, in our hearts we name those who are facing illness and pain. We join our prayers with all who love them. Give them renewed comfort and courage. Strengthen in them the healing powers you have placed within us all. Guide the hands and hearts of those who are entrusted with their care. May the knowledge of your love and ours give added hope to them and to their dear ones. May they find even greater strength because our prayers are linked to theirs. Baruch atah Adonai, Rofeh HaCholim. We praise you, eternal God, the source of healing and health. And we add, Mishaberach avotenu ve'imotenu, may the one who blessed and protected our ancestors guard all those whom we've entrusted with the responsibility of defending our freedom and protecting us. In this country, in the land of Israel, and everywhere they've been called to serve, give them courage to succeed and strength to persevere. May they return home safely, and let us say, Amen. So I told you that the name of the Torah portion is Zachor, or the name of the weekend is Zachor. The Torah portion is, we have two Torah portions coming up. On a typical traditional Shabbat morning tomorrow, we would be reading from two different Torah scrolls. One is the book of Leviticus, which is what we're supposed to be starting, and it is, in some sense, very not memorable stuff. It tells you all the details about which corner of the altar you're supposed to be sacrificing things on, which way you hold the birds when you're sacrificing birds instead of... It's details that I could probably guarantee that probably 99.5% of the people in this room do not remember. And here we are talking about a Shabbat called Remember, and that's when we're reading this. But then we read a little chunk from Deuteronomy, a very small chunk from Deuteronomy, which Deuteronomy is a little bit more memorable when it comes to the things that we read in it because we can relate to it a little bit easier in our modern days. But this is a story about Amalek. You know who Amalek was? He was this really rotten guy that as soon as we left as soon as we left Egypt on our way to the Promised Land, when we made it across the Sea of Reeds, we were attacked from behind. And you have to understand, according to Torah, we were 600,000 people, which means that we might have been 6,000 and we might have been closer to 3 million. Well, we were a lot of people. And the people that were in the back were the weakest people. The small kids, the older people, the sick people, the ones who couldn't walk as fast. And that's who he attacked. And God says, remember to never forget Amalek. And that's where a lot of people think that the Jews are very confusing and why some people get frustrated by some of the commandments, because we have a commandment here that we're supposed to remember, to forget Amalek, to never forget to remember. It gets confusing. It's really confusing because we're commanded to forget and remember all at the same time. I don't even remember how we're supposed to remember how to remember to say that, because it's complicated. And it's especially complicated in modern times, because in modern times, we are taught that psychologically, if someone hurts us, it's better for us not to dwell on it all the time. It's better for us to try to forget and to move on. And on the other hand, if we forget, then we may fall into the same old patterns. And that's where it comes from. It comes from that kind of a problem. It comes from things that happen to us that are bad, that we would love to forget and sometimes can't. But we need to forget and sometimes shouldn't. And that's what the commandment is about. And unfortunately, this week and today, we saw examples of it where I already mentioned all of those rockets that came at us that we have to, it had been weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks since we'd seen rockets hitting us. And now we almost forgot that we're under attack from our neighbors. And it's a hard thing. We forget. But as someone pointed out, the Iron Dome, what they call, I wanted to say Sukkot Shalom, that we have this tabernacle of peace that protects us from people who are trying to literally rain war down upon us. But I presume that you all heard what happened today in the mosques in New Zealand, that as of last I had heard, 49 people were murdered. That this man, who they are now telling us was a white supremacist, was doing it because they were Muslims and he wanted to kill the Muslims because he didn't think that they belonged in New Zealand. He went in there and he started gunning people down. And then he left that room and went to a room where all the women were praying, and he started gunning people down. And he kept looking from place to place at people to gun down. 49 people were murdered and many others were injured. And I don't know about you, but I can say for me, it really doesn't matter to me that these were Muslims worshiping in their sacred space. It hurts. It hurts that anyone can go to their sanctuary and start hurting people. It hurt New Zealand. They were sad. The countries in the world are sad. We're all hurting. And Israel, the people of Israel, the country of Israel, but the people of Israel have to remember not to forget, because there are times when people try to hurt us. On the other side, for the Shabbat that we call Zachor, we always read it just before Purim. Why? Because this Purim story starts off And it is arguably the happiest day of the Jewish calendar, but it starts off with a story that begins by saying that the bad guy, what's the bad guy's name again? Haman. Boo! That Haman is a descendant of Amalek, the guy we were supposed to remember to forget and forget to remember and never forget to always remember. That guy, that Haman was a descendant of his. And there are some genealogies that show that Hitler was too. And we have this commandment in Jewish tradition. If you think that remembering to forget to remember to forget is complicated, we have a commandment about Purim that says that we're commanded to be so happy that we can't remember the difference between blessing Mordechai and cursing Haman. Boo. That's how complicated we are. So we are about to have the most joyous holiday of the year. And it's a holiday when people tried to kill us. But they didn't. It's a holiday, the strange thing about Purim is that it's a holiday where we are commanded to get dressed up in costume. We're commanded to do that. I'm sorry that you don't remember that you always forget to dress up in costume, but we're commanded to do that. Because Esther, what does Esther mean? Hidden. Esther means hidden. She hid who she was. Was that a good idea, to hide who you are? I've been telling this story a lot lately, that I was on J-Date for a minute. And when I was on J-Date for the minute, I got a call from first a message, a call from a guy, a rabbi from Oklahoma, who sent a message saying, from one single rabbi to another. And he said, why did you say you were a rabbi in your profile? And I'm like, what, am I going to trick somebody into marrying me and say, surprise, I'm really a rabbi? Like, why would you do that? And he said, I don't know. The rabbis I know on J-Date don't say that they're rabbis. So I, may get frustrated sometimes that Esther has to hide who she is. It's hard I'm a mother of sons. I don't have to worry about this so much, but to be a parent of daughters and to tell the story of Esther and say, and you could marry a very rich guy if he's not Jewish, as long as you save the Jewish. I don't know what the lesson is you learn when you're telling your daughter. I tell it all the time and we're fine. But the point is, it's complicated. The thing is, she hid who she was. And sometimes that's the best way to save your people. Does it make sense? Everything doesn't always make sense. I am very glad that it happened in the end of things. So in this week, and I want to tell you something else that we can remember. I want to remind you of happy and sad. Do you know that this past week, one of the people's yortzites we're commemorating is also someone's birthday we're commemorating this past week? Moses. Moses' birthday was 2 days ago, and so was his yortzeit. And sometimes the happiest memories blend in a lot with the saddest memories. And I think life is a lot like that. So I'm going to remind you, don't forget, remember to not forget. And I'm going to call up our vice president today to tell you what you're not supposed to forget. I wish I could tell you all the things that you're not supposed to forget. You need to look at the website because there's too much. You would forget it if we just announced it to you. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Let's put it near you. Sorry. It won't block your face either.
It didn't.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you to Tammy Courtney and Rick Muroff and family for leading the candle blessings in Kiddush. Fun and food for the Shreveport Jewish community at the Purim Carnival this Sunday, March 17th. Come in costume, or you can come as you are. Okay?
We have costumes waiting for you.
The carnival will be from 10:30 to 1, and with lunch beginning to be served at 11:30. We do need volunteers to help staff clean up, provide cakes, etc. It says contact the office if you can help, but I think that's a little late. This event is sponsored by the North Louisiana Jewish Federation with help from Shifty, the religious school, and other volunteers. So if you can help, show up. March is Women's Month. B'nai Zion invites women of all ages to join in some of our separate checks pop-up events. Join us at all of them or only one. Imperial Cafe at 11:30 this coming Wednesday. The Levee at 10:30 Sunday, March 24th. And at 11:30 Tuesday, March 26th, and I'm not sure they know for sure where that's going to be.
It is. It's called Casa Jimador. It's in the Piermont Mall.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the New Mexican place in what used to be, I guess, wine country was the last thing in that spot.
Hadassah Shower of Dollars will be Thursday, March 28th from 10:30 to 2 at the Arsenal Home. Hadassah Shabbat will be at 7 p.m. Friday, March 29th at Agudath Ahim. We will not have services at B'nai Zion that evening so that we may all worship together. The early bird deadline for Passover Seder reservations is March 29th. The regular deadline is April 5th. We have some special events from community engagement of the Institute of Jewish Life. Join us at the Sorky Home at 7 p.m. March 30th for an adult program, at 9:30 on Sunday, March 31st for a family program, and or another adult program on Sunday, the 31st at 11:30. More details are on our website. If you can donate blood, please consider participating in the next blood drive, which will be Sunday, April 7th from 9 to 1. Please contact Helene to schedule for a specific appointment time. B'nai Zion will again have an opportunity to shred your documents shortly after April 15th tax deadline. Watch for the details. Donations were made to B'nai Zion or for pulpit flowers in loving memory of Eva Allen Oscar Pincus from the Lewis and McGovern families, and in loving memory of Bernice Kreshman Schulwolf and Hannah Cohn Weiss from Mandel Selber.
Thank you. So a couple more details about this that I can tell you, if I may. We do need more cakes for the cakewalk, so at this point you don't have to tell anybody it's true. Just bring them on Sunday at the beginning if you can. It's the most popular thing. The kids walk around, they land on a number, they win a cake. You're not going to believe how many cakes, but we need them because they do that the whole time. And if you want to come and volunteer, you can let Rachel Robichaux know or Barbara Joseph know, maybe tomorrow night or something. They're still looking for people for setting up, cleaning up, running the booths, although Shifty is helping a lot and so will other people. So next Friday is Purim Shabbat, and it's the Friday after that that is Hadassah Shabbat. The service, at one point we said it was at 8 o'clock, but it's going to be at 7 o'clock. They're compromising because nobody wants to stay up that late. I know we don't want to stay up that late. But know that Cantor and I are both going to be helping lead the service, but it's predominantly led by the ladies of Hadassah. So if you haven't been called yet and you're a lady of Hadassah, expect to be called. Debbie will call you soon. And come, because it's about that, and there's going to be refreshments from Hadassah at that event, and I'll be there, so please come. There was, and I've got the ethical dilemmas also. And we tell you about the blood drive ahead of time because we don't want you to be making donations ahead of time in case you can donate. We need you for that. And there's other stuff, but there's too much to squish into the news. We've got to, so check online. There's always a running thing of what's going on. Look on the monitor when you get outside, too. Anyway, if you are under the age of 13 and you would like to help us open the Ark, I would like to honor you with opening the Ark by zooming up here. Turn to page 148 if you're not under the age of 13. And those of you who are under 13, zoom, zoom. Zoom, zoom. Gali, gali, gali. Zoom, gali, gali. Zoom. Thank you. There's still a lizard on your jacket. Page 148. Please rise. Torahs. Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon hakol, latet gedula liotzer breshit, shelo masanu kegoye haratzot, v'lo samanu kemishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, v'gohor aleinu kechol hamonam, v'anachnu koreim, umishtachavim umodim, lifnei melech malachei hamlachim, hakadosh baruch hu. When the ark is closed, you are welcome to sit. Yeah, we will. Good question. Goodbye, Doris. Please be seated and continue on page 150. The day will come when all shall turn with trust to you, O God, hearkening to your voice, bearing witness to your truth. And I would like you to please join with me on page 150. We pray with all our hearts, let violence be gone. Let the day come soon when evil shall give way to goodness, when war shall be forgotten, and all at last shall live in freedom. O source of life, may we, created in your image, embrace one another in friendship and in joy. Then shall we be one family, and then shall your sovereignty be established on earth, and the word of your prophet fulfilled. The eternal God will reign forever and ever. On that day, O God, you shall be one, and your name shall be one, which in Hebrew is Bayom hahu, yeh Adonai echad, u'shemo, u'shemo, u'shemo echad. Now you know I wanted to read those parts. Our thoughts turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. We include in that list those 49 people who died today, people who just were praying. We include in that the people who've died this past year in the line of duty, which we now have lost 6 people in the military. We've lost 24 police officers, 5 canine officers, and 7 firefighters. As we remember them, let us meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death, and I'm going to allow you to choose what your favorite reading is from these pages as we take a moment of meditation. However brief may be our time on earth, O God, you endow our fleeting days with abiding worth. We now recall the loved ones whom death has taken from us. We remember Nan Levy, who passed away last Friday. And we remember congregants' parents who died this past year. We remember Flo Selber, Gloria Meyer, Richard Stewart, Clifford Bear, Joe Batt II, and Peter Haas. And as we remember those who died at this season in years past, we take them into our hearts with our own. Those for whom we're observing Yortzites this week include Eva Allen, Susan Ann Beenan, Julian S. Bernard, Marion Burstein, Henry Elaine Dreyfus, Grace Ferris Harris, Julius S. Kahn, Ray E. Levy, Pauline Lipson, Samuel Loeb, Mamie P. Lustberg, David Miller, Edward Morris, Oscar Pincus, Bernice Kreisman Schulwolf, Harry Shanhouse, Justine Wiseman, Henry Sauer Wiseman Sr., Hannah Cohen Weiss, and Bernie Walensik. In this moment of memory, our griefs and sympathies are mingled. Loving God, we rise as together we praise your name. The Mourner's Kaddish is found on page 154. The translation is on 155. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabba, be'alma divra chiruteh v'yamlich malchuteh, b'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'vizman kariv v'imru amen. Yeheh shemei Rabba mevarach la'alam u'lalmei almaya. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דאמירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן יהא שלמה רבה מן שמיה וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן עושה שלום במרומיו הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved. Amen. Please be seated. When I got together with my snifty friends the other day, they said that they love that in the Reform movement we all stand up together for the mourners Kaddish, because in some places only the mourners stand and it's like you're putting them on display. I think we're going to use this as our closing song. It says, peace will yet come upon us and all the world. And the song is in Hebrew and in Arabic, because we show solidarity for those who died today in the mosques. O Javo Shalom Aleinu, O Javo Shalom Aleinu, O Javo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. O Javo Shalom Aleinu, O Javo Shalom Aleinu, O Javo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. How do you say peace in Arabic? Salam. So that's your part now. Salam Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam, salam. Salam Aleinu, upon us, ve'al kol ha'olam, and on all the world. Salam, salam. Salam Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam, salam. Salam Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam, salam. O Javo Shalom Aleinu, O Javo Shalom Aleinu, O Javo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. O Javo Shalom Aleinu, O Javo Shalom Aleinu, O Javo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. Salam Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam, salam. Salam Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam, salam. O Javo Shalom Aleinu, O Javo Shalom Aleinu, O Javo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. Peace will yet come upon us, on the whole world, on everyone. Amen. All right, we need somebody to come and help us bless this bread. Anybody want to come and help us? Oh, Zoom. That's what I'm talking about. All right, that's more what I'm talking. Hold that. That looks like it's just your size. And, shoop. Ready? Oh, now look who's here. What? Ready? Hamotzi lechem min haaretz. We give thanks to God for bread. Our voices rise in song together as our joyful prayer is said. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz b'te'avon. I get the plate, you get the bread. Give me the plate. You take the bread. Thank you. Yum b'te'avon. Please rise for the closing benediction. And there's more challah out there for you. Thanks to Bethany. It is a blessing to be here together. Thank you for not forgetting to come. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmarecha. May God bless you. May God protect you. Yair Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka. May the light of God's face shine upon you, be gracious to you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May God's face always be lifted up to you. May God grant you peace. Shabbat shalom. Ojavo shalom aleinu. Ojavo shalom.